Hey guys, SurvivalBob here, and in this video we're going to go over 6 different ways to farm nanites. We're going to figure out which ones are the best, which ones are the worst, which ones are worth doing. Maybe early game, mid game, and then later game when you're not worried about money and it's no object to you. Alright, so early game you're going to come across this damaged machinery stuff all over the place. It's going to be at a lot of the save markers. 2 things here that we're going to look at. One is what you get when you open it up, which is residual goop that can be refined down into nanites. And also, what is almost always near this, and sometimes hidden, is buried technology. So, let's grab that real quick as well. Now, once you got a few space bucks on you, and you make it to a space station, you can actually go and buy the goop off the aliens there, and sometimes they actually sell it in the trade terminals as well. It's another great way to get nanites, is just pick them up randomly. Just make sure you grab everything. Alright, so this guy's selling residual goop. You can buy $22.79 of it, 5,800 space bucks. Let's go see if his buddy's got any as well. Now, they're not all going to sell it, but, you know, I find maybe about half of them do. Yep, he's got it too. We'll get him, so we're got about half a stack already. What's up, spiky face? Alright, what do you got to sell? Alright, so this guy's out of goop. We bought too much. If you just wait a few folks, buy a few different things, it'll come back. Now, if you're in your station and you're not seeing any goop from anybody, then you know, maybe just check another station. Alright, the goop is back, so let's load up. That ought to give us a full stack. Alright, now that we have our nanites, let's go ahead and refine them. Now, you can refine them in either a portable refiner, backpack refiner, medium, or large refiner. Be careful if you're using the portable refiner. I have had stuff disappear out of that, especially if you leave it or reload a save or go through a teleporter or something like that. I haven't had that issue with the larger medium refiners, but I'm not saying it can't happen there either. But you can refine a stack of, at most, 4,095 residual goop. You can throw a bigger stack in, but it's only going to give you 4,095. It's going to take 40 minutes and 57 seconds to go from residual goop to viscous fluids. Then you're going to refine the viscous fluids, and it's going to take another 40 minutes and 57 seconds to turn into living slime at a rate of 1:1. The living slime, again, is going to turn into runaway mold in another 41 minutes, basically. And finally, you're going to turn the living runaway mold. I always call that living mold. The runaway mold is going to go 5:1 to nanite clusters. So all those stacks of 4095 are going to boil down to 819 nanite clusters. Now, that whole process of going from goop to fluids to slime to mold to nanites is going to take 2 hours and 11 minutes, and it's going to yield 819 nanites. I don't know about you, but that's not the best way I like to spend my time. And I'm worried to leave my refiners because I'm afraid something's going to come out of them. Now, you can have multiple refiners going, so you can do, you know, a couple stacks at the same time. But, again, meh. It's alright, early game, do it if that's all you can do and you don't have any money. Now, something else you can refine for nanites real quick early game is salvaged data. Now, if you don't want to use these to unlock blueprints, this is a great use for them. If you've collected them, you can throw 15 salvaged data in. That's the max stack size. You're going to get a 1 to 15 return, so 15 times as many. So in just 19 seconds, you can process that and turn it into 225 beautiful nanite clusters. Now, the last nanite method I'm going to do in the refiner is refining gold and silver into platinum. So you can take a stack of gold, you can take a stack of silver, where is it? And you can refine that down into platinum. You're only going to get 4095 again. It's going to take you 16 minutes. Or if you just have platinum, you can just refine that straight away. You stick a stack of platinum in, it's going to go to nanites. You're going to be able to get a 35:1. Now, you can refine the whole stack of platinum because at 35:1, it's only going to give you 285 nanites. So you're not hitting that 4,000 cap on the output here. But that's a crappy yield, and it only takes a minute, but look at what this is worth. This is worth 5 million units, and you're only going to get 285 nanites. Go buy a ship and scrap it for 5 million units. You can do it a couple times, even on some crappy ships, and you're going to get more nanites than that. So platinum is not something that I would recommend. So probably one of the best ways to get nanites, although probably one of the most boring to me, quite honestly, is through cooking. Now, some people love cooking. There's all kinds of cool recipes you can make, but we're just talking about getting nanites here. So we're going to do it as quick and efficiently as we can. What we're going to do is we're going to go get a whole bunch of meaty chunks. You can take 50 meaty chunks and another 50 meaty chunks. So 100 total, 2 stacks, and you're going to get a stack of 50 mystery meat stew. It's going to take 2 minutes and 5 seconds to get that done. That's no time at all. You can take that stack up to watermelon face up in the anomaly, shove it down his gullet, and you're going to get nanites pretty quickly. Now, once you're in the anomaly, you're going to go up on the right-hand side past these other guys who give you nanites as well, and you're going to go to Kronos, fat boy over here with a watermelon face, and he's going to sniff you. He's going to know you got food on you, and he's going to want a piece. Now, make sure you're giving him the mystery meat stew, and you're just going to shove that in him just as fast as you can click, and he's going to give you between 40 and 129 nanites in my experience per time. Now, I think he may give more than that, but sometimes it's double counting them because I'm clicking so fast. So see, I got 169, but I think that's because I had 129 plus 40. I think that's what it's doing. So I'm going to click this away, and I'm going to get rid of all these mystery meat stew, and I'm going to get nanites for it. Now, with a stack of 50 mystery meat stew, I got 3,039 nanites, and it took me all total about 8 minutes and 30 seconds for cooking and feeding it to Biggie over there. That is a great return. Although clicking over and over again to shove mystery meat stew down his gullet is not the best thing in the world, but you're going to get nanites, and you're going to get them pretty quick. Alright, now if you're worried that you don't have a nutrient processor, 2 things you can do. Go get the Salvaged Data and go up there and buy it. Or do like Bob did and come to the Nexus and look for a mission that's tame wild creatures or something to that effect, because it's going to involve you cooking. Now, if you don't have the nutrient processor blueprint unlocked, it's going to give it to you, and you can make them in that mission, pick them up when you leave, and take them with you. I got 2 in my inventory from a mission I did the other day with a buddy of mine. I've got another one down on my base and another one on my freighter. So I've got 4 of these, and I still don't have the blueprint for it. Alright, and then of course there is the Whispering Egg method. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail on this. There's lots of videos on this. If you're tough enough, you can run and just shoot them and grab them and run and take the shots in the butt as you go. If you're a wussy like Bob, you can just dig a hole underneath them, which is what I do, and kind of jump from one to one. The abominations aren't going to go in the hole, so it's you can just run down there, shoot your egg, and nobody's going to mess with you. And then you can just fly over to the next hole. Ah, they're coming right for me. Now, I just ran around and counted the eggs on this building. There's 27 of them, so at 50 a pop, that's going to give us 1,350. My experience is I generally get between 750 and 1,500. Usually it's around 900 to 1,100 because I drop an egg or 2. Bob's clumsy. They get away from you and then they despawn. Not a bad method. The downside is you're going to get shot in the butt if you don't do it right. It does take a little bit of time if you're careful, and unless you're glitching, you're going to have to keep finding these buildings. Now, you can go to a dead planet. I had people mention that, but those are so far spread out, it's just not worth it to me. So at this location, I got 1,350 nanites, and it took me about 5 minutes to dig the holes and to grab them all up real quick. Now, there's a couple cool videos out as well with people who are putting up walls, base computers, and boxing them off, which is pretty neat. I saw one guy on PS4 using the terrain manipulator to build a box around it, which I thought was pretty cool. Alright, and the last way we're going to go over is the scrapping method I did a video on, and we're going to go to an even better system than the one I showed you. This one was featured in Hawk's gaming video, and I believe he got it off of a Sword Stream. So I'll link both of those guys in the description as well, but this will be the address. we are at a station that has a double exotic spawn. If you've got the money, this is going to be the way to scrap ships. Alright, now once you get to the station, you're going to want to go to network and make sure multiplayer is disabled, because there's going to be other people here. This is a well-known station, so make sure it's disabled so you don't have to deal with them and you trying to buy the same ships. Plus, there's a glitch going on where when somebody else scraps in multiplayer, it can reskin your ship, which is not cool. Now, after you get out of multiplayer, you're going to go ahead and reload the autosave that was created when you jumped out of your ship. And in just about a minute, you're going to get a double exotic spawn come in. Now, when you get here, you're going to want to make sure you only own 4 or less ships, because you're going to want to be able to buy both of these exotics as they come in. Alright, here comes the first one. And there's my second one. Sometimes they don't come in on the first wave. Just be patient. Alright, now we're going to run over here and scrap our ships. Now, don't worry about losing money. First of all, you're loaded. Second of all, you're going to get 2 storage augmentation per ship. You can use those to upgrade one of the ones later on and make your money back. Go to this guy, select Purchase Upgrade Modules, and then select Sell. Now, every time you scrap both of those ships, you're going to get 2 of each of these modules, which you're going to be able to sell for 2,891 nanites. Now, it takes between 3 and 5 minutes between reloading my autosave, coming back in, buying both the ships, scrapping them, and reloading, doing it all over again. So, 3 to 5 minutes to make 2,800 nanite clusters. It's not bad. Alright guys, we've gone over 6 different methods of making nanites. I'm going to break them down real quick and show you the math that I did on how many nanites you would get per hour by doing this. So the first method we talked about was the Goop. You're going to get about 375 nanites per hour per refiner. So if you're running multiple refiners, you'll get more, but that's just one refiner going, 375 an hour. But remember, it's going to take you 2 hours to get all the way through it. The salvage data I didn't figure out per hour because you got the running around time to go get it, but you're going to get 225 for a stack of 15 of that, which is a pretty good yield, I think, for sure. Now, also, we've got the gold and silver to platinum method, which is going to get you about 417 an hour, but remember the expense involved in that. So I don't know that I would really go for that, and if you're broke, then it's not really kind of what you're looking to do. But you know, hey, you do what you got to do. Next, we've got the larval core method coming in at 8,100 per hour. Just a rough estimate of getting about 1,350 in 5 minutes. Doing that a couple times gets you about 8,100. That does not account for time spent finding buildings and stuff like that. Coming in at the second best method was the meaty chunks to mystery stew to shoving it down Kronos' throat. Get you about 18,000 nanites per hour, guys. Early game, do that. If you were broke, you don't have the glyphs, go shoot some animals, get some meaty chunks, and give them to Kronos. He's going to like it, you're going to love it, and you're going to get tons and tons of nanites. Now, the last way that I showed you guys was the scrapping method at a double exotic guaranteed spawn. Now, obviously, that's a pretty unique method. You've got to have all the glyphs to get there, and you got to have the money to do it. But if you do that, the way I counted it up, you're going to get about 34,000 nanites per hour. Now, that's a butt ton of nanites, guys. So if you found that useful, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Tell me what I forgot. Tell me what other nanite methods you like to do. What else do you want me to take a look at and research for you guys? I'll be happy to do it. Also, take a look down in the description below for some links to some other helpful videos, as well as contact info for Bob. If you want to get in touch with me, join my Discord server. Follow me on Twitter. Make sure you like and subscribe as well, guys, and we will see you next time in No Man's Sky. Thanks so much, travelers. We'll see you later. Oh, and remember, if you're going to be a Bob, have fun with it. And if you're going to get nanites, get a butt ton of them.